Hello, welcome to the weekend reading for June the 21st and June the 22nd of June 2025. Did you get that it was June? It is many things today. It is boiling. I am so boiling. It's summer solstice. Well, yay and nay. I mean, it's my favourite day probably of the year because we get the longest night. But of course, after that, we're on a bit of a countdown, aren't we? But anyway, we'll forget about that for the moment. The sun is above the horizon for the longest time than any other day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Woohoo! And, my lovely Cancerians, the sun enters Cancer at 3:42 a.m. Woohoo! So drop me a crab in the comments if you are a Cancerian. Okay, God, let's do this thing. Summer Meadows Tarot. Has to be, doesn't it? Has to be. Okay. We're still thinking here of yacht rock. We're still thinking, does anybody remember? And this is such a 1970s, 1980s thing, actually. Hawaiian Tropic. If you know, you will know. Let me know, and let me know what terrible sun damage you did to yourself when you were younger. I'll fess up. Me and my sister, oh God, we used to cover ourselves in olive oil and just lie in the sun with olive oil and lemon juice in our hair, which made your hair really go very crispy, to be honest. And literally we were just cooking ourselves, and God knows what my mum must have thought. She must have thought that is really bad, but that's what we did. Olive oil. But my dad used to use Hawaiian Tropic. That stuff, and this is just my memory of it, it smelled so coconutty, and I'm on holiday and not at all. Wow. I am taking reversals today, so that's annoying. Yeah, just not at all like where I lived. It was so exotic and fantastic smelling stuff. And basically what I think it was, I don't know if it had any sun protection in at all. You just slather it all over yourself and then sit in Hull or somewhere in your back garden in a deck chair. Like that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Woof. Woof. Okay. Oof. Oof and earth and oof. Overall energy card, we've got the Five of Swords in reverse, which actually I really like because it's Venus in Aquarius, and the Five of Swords can be a bit like it looks like. It's a bit fighty, but not, let's take our pistols at dawn and I'll meet you on the heath. It's not that kind of thing. Well, it sort of is actually, but it's more of a, I'll give you a game of chess and the winner takes all is more of the Five of Swords. So it's a little bit passive aggressive. We're taking our positions. You move there, so I'll move here and I'll say that and you do this and you do that. It's a little bit like that. When it goes into reverse, it means that feeling is coming back into the situation rather than smarts. And I like that. Underneath it, and very hard to ignore, is the Tower. I know. And the Emperor. For one or two of you, this can be a surprise visit or person turning up, or a surprise breakthrough of masculine energy. So it can also be that you suddenly take charge of something that you've been meaning to take charge of. So you lovely Cancerians, maybe, it comes around, it's your birthday, you're like, woohoo! I'm feeling the power, I'm putting my jetpack on, and I'm dealing with the stuff I need to deal with. Get the pincers going. It could be that we're dealing with something in a domestic setting, But it could also be that we're just literally balls to the wall. We're like, actually, I'm going to sort this out, and I'm going to sort this out now. No more messing. No more messing. Quite like it. We run into the Ace of Cups in reverse. I know, I didn't want to take reversals today when I saw the Ace of Cups, but you don't always get to make that decision, do you? I sort of knew that I had to do reversals because it feels that way. You know, the hunch is going that way. So, okay, Ace of Cups in reverse. It can be that there's been a lingering emotional situation and we take charge of it at last. Especially with the Five of Swords in reverse, because that is sort of messing around, not saying anything, feeling it but not saying it, passive aggressive, you know, who's going to blink first, it's all that kind of stuff. And then this, take the bull by the balls and let's go. Ace of Cups in reverse, let's either fix this or at least let's talk about this. It can be friendship that's gone a bit weird. It can be love that's gone a bit wrong. It can be, I don't know, for some reason, because we've got that midsummer vibe as well. I get like a channel message, the endless night, but in a good way. You know, that there's optimism about something, whereas before maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was more of a stalemate. Then we get, and very nice for the Cancerians, because we've got the Chariot coming in, which is your card coming in your birthday season. Very, very nice indeed. But in this case, also 2 horses, 1 arse. We know what it means when we get the Chariot. I get the feeling, sometimes when I see the Chariot and it's 2 horses, 1 arse, I think, no, you've got to pick a horse and stick with it. This one, I think, keep that Chariot going, because there's good and bad in a situation and you may have to ride it. You know, more often, and I've talked about this before, in ethics, you are not dealing with good versus bad. You're dealing with good versus good or bad versus bad. You know, it's more nuanced than we would like it to be. So if you need to take 2 positions or to ride this duality, do so. For now, that's okay. Because also I've got the 8 of Swords. And that for me means there may be just a bit of information missing in terms of going for one horse or the other, making a decision one way or the other. So if you are dealing with anything to do with relationship breakdown or difficulty with family or whatever it is, you may want to consider that when you're in your kind of, I will sort this out phase. Just maybe hang back if you don't have all the information. We also have the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is not where I like him to be. I like him to be in the upright. When the King of Pentacles is in reverse, there may be somebody just being a little bit flaky, and we're probably sick of it. We're not having it. Okay. And then very, very nicely, the last card that we get is the Star. Healing and a chance of redemption and a chance to, it's hope, which, you know, a little bit of hope goes a long way. So there is hope for this, but there's a little bit of a bumpy road. Let's have a Summer Meadows Lenormand card. Ooh, that's very nice. Might take 2 actually. I seem to want that one. Oh, that's nice too. Don't mind if I do. Okay. First Lenormand card we get is the tree. Well, I love a tree, but I also love a tree in Lenormand. It's really nice. Health, growth, being grounded. And I get a kind of feeling as well of sticking to your spirituality, sticking to your very grounded intuition in this situation, which is nice. And then we also get the bouquet, so there may be an apology coming your way. That would be nice, wouldn't it? beauty, joy, gifts, creativity and hope, which ties in with getting the star. I'm going to go and put my head in the fridge and stay there for a little while. Leave me a comment. Check out the Pick a Pebble reading, the owl, the elephant, the cat. That's a really good reading with some beautiful stones. That's in the description box below. And I will see you soon. Namaste.